So, Texas Democrat James Talarico joins widening U.S. Senate race. Texas State Representative James Talarico announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate in Texas, aiming for the Democratic nomination alongside former Representative Colin Allred and astronaut Terry Vitris. So, bias distribution is a huge blind spot for the right. So, you've got 52% of the reporting is coming from the left. 39% is coming from the center, with only 9% coming from the right. And I think the right should really watch out for this guy. He is a Christian, after all. He knows the Bible, and he's been able to use the Bible against some of these Bible-wielding Texas Republicans. So, I don't think he's a U.S. congressman. I think he's a state congressman, maybe. I might be incorrect in that, but yeah, he's appeared on Joe Rogan. So my story is from, let's see here, the Star Telegram. So center-leaning distribution, very high factuality. It's pretty high here up on the sorted by factuality list. If you look at the bias distribution, we already did that, but the factuality is 96% of the sources are high factuality. So when you see something like that, you know one of two things on ground news, that all of the stories are either coming from the left or everybody's in pretty much agreement with what's going on. Most of the time it's everybody, all the stories are coming from the left. But let's get into this story here from the Star Telegram. So Texas Representative James Talarico is running for U.S. Senate as Democrats try and flip the statewide seat held by John Cornyn. Talarico, an Austin Democrat, has been a member of the state house since 2019. He officially launched his campaign on Tuesday amid reports that he planned to run for the office. Talarico, 36, is a self-proclaimed underdog in the race. Former U.S. Representative Colin Allred, a Dallas Democrat who challenged U.S. Senator Ted Cruz in 2024, has already announced his bid and has the experience and name recognition that comes with having previously run statewide. Were he to advance in November, Talarico could face Cornyn or Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, both Republicans, in a state that hasn't elected a Democrat statewide since 1994. But Talarico, a former public school teacher and graduate from the Austin Presbyterian Theological Seminary, says he's beaten the odds before. Talarico won Texas House District 52 in 2018, an open seat that had long been held by a Republican. He later ran in the House District 50 in the Austin area, which he currently represents. I was an underdog then, Talarico said in a Saturday interview with the Star Telegram. I'm an underdog now in both the primary and the general, and it's a place that I'm comfortable. Talarico was already taking political aim at the potential November opponents. He criticized Cornyn for supporting the big, ugly bill in Congress and noted embattled Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's 2023 impeachment. Paxton was ultimately acquitted in the Senate, but that's usually what happens when one side controls one house and the other side controls the other. So I need to quit moving around and making that green. Yeah. So in order to take either potential opponent, he'd first need to win the Democratic primary against Allred, former astronaut Terry Vitris, and others who entered the race. If the Democratic Party is looking for fresh faces, Talarico fits the bill, said Brandon Rottinghouse, a University of Houston political science professor, in a text message. If they're looking for a proven statewide quality, it gives Allred the edge. If it's Allred who ultimately wins a Democratic nomination, Talarico says he'll be fully behind the former congressman. I'm not running against Colin Allred, he said. I'm running to make my case to the people of the state and offer my skills, my experiences, my value, my vision in service of them. Rottinghouse expects Allred will try and make the race about experience versus potential. There won't be many ideological or partisan differences between the candidates, he said. The race will be about turnout, enthusiasm, and building the right coalition of voters. Talarico has a lot of buzz, but has also gotten a bit of a late start, Rottinghouse said. Allred launched his campaign in July. He'll have to step on the gas in fundraising, name, ID, and messaging, he said. Recent polling from the Barbara Jordan Public Policy Research and Survey Center at Texas Southern University puts Allred up by 7 percentage points in a two-way matchup against Talarico. Paxton was 5 percentage points ahead of Cornyn in a two-way matchup. Winning statewide in Texas will be a challenge for whomever the Democrat nominee is. The primary for Democrats is just ramping up. Meanwhile, a heated primary between Paxton and Cornyn is in full swing. To have a chance at winning in November, the Democratic candidate will need to draw independent voters and sway on-the-fence Republicans in addition to rallying Democrats, Rawlinghouse said. Talarico has been the subject of viral moments in the state legislature. He recently made headlines when he went on Joe Rogan's podcast. Rogan endorsed President Donald Trump in 2024 election. There's a hunger for a different kind of politics, Talarico said. It's been 10 years of Trumpian politics. Politics is blood sport. Politics is professional wrestling, Talarico said. I think the people are ready to get back to those timeless values of sincerity and honesty and compassion. I think those things are going to make a comeback in 2026 in our politics, and I want to be part of that movement. Talarico said reaching Texans through social media is a tool he'll continue to use on the Senate campaign trail. Talarico's messaging is very persuasive and has the ability to connect to voters beyond just the Democratic Party, Rawlinghouse said. This is the only way the Democrats can win. Allred has demonstrated the ability to get some crossover voters, but will need to find better traction with independents and Republicans to win statewide, Rawlinghouse said in another text message. All right, so I like this guy. I think that he's part of that moving new wave of Democrats that I've been talking about that include people like Zorhan Mamdani and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Kat Abu Gonzalez and Angelina Murillo, and the Portland City Councilor, who's fairly new to the scene, but also creating these big waves in the Democratic Party. So I think that these are the type of people to watch, and these are the type of people to get behind if you want real change in the Democratic Party. That's why I pointed this out. He's just one of those people that I think that this show is going to continue to watch and hope that their political career takes off in a way, because they are the type of people who have the potential to do the things that need to get done. So, hey, thanks for checking out this video from Nightly News this morning. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video or when we go live on Tuesdays and Fridays.